Resilience is something that's desperately needed today, especially in light of where we are mental health wise. And it's a way to empower you to overcome your own obstacles versus, relying on other people or circumstances to make yourself feel esteemed.
Baby, I'm thriving. Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laurie Hernandez, and this is One Creative Mind. Tangible Movement is a nonprofit dedicated to breaking down stigmas associated with all aspects of mental health and gender identity. Here to tell us about it and share his own mental health story is the CEO and founder of Tangible Movement, Torri Shack. So, Torri, welcome to One Creative Mind. It is so great to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be here, especially in your presence. I think you're phenomenal and with one mind. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. We're going to have a great conversation today. I'm excited.
Yeah.
My intro was a very brief introduction to the important work that you're doing. So kick us off. Tell us more about the Tangible Movement and the scope of your mission.
Sure. So we basically specialize in uplifting individuals facing mental health challenges, addiction, gender inequality, and LGBTQIA. It's now LGBTQIA2S plus issues through the power of resilience training. So basically, we teach through our lived experience to feel the feels and then take the wheel. Yes, that's not my saying. Oprah said it. I don't know who was the one who made that up, but I love it. And we utilize lived experiences to empower and educate, offering targeted training and workshops. So none of us are teachers; we're all people with lived experience. And we collaborate, partnering with schools, businesses, community groups to enhance awareness and foster resilience by transforming adversity into strength.
That's incredible. Thank you for the work that you're doing. We need more of it for sure. Your insights have been informed to a great degree by your own mental health challenges. So can you share a little bit about the personal journey that has brought you to here today?
Sure. So I first identify as a human, and then I am a trans man. I'm a 2-time suicide attempt survivor, recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and a person living with mental illness. So I check off all the boxes. Basically, my motivation was helping others. Well, first of all, helping others enhances my own well-being significantly, and being, helping other people move through their challenges is really cathartic for me. So, and also, as far as my realization of the workplace, for an extended period of time, you're just hustling in a career, working to build somebody else's dream, and you realize you're not really focusing on your own or your own well-being. And so that was a realization that I had as far as my personal journey was concerned. But my main goal with this and for my personal journey was to end the stigma and help empower people through building resilience and demonstrating that a fulfilling life is achievable alongside having a mental health, illness.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's like the super high level overview.
That sounds like an incredible initiative. I know my mom is a social worker and a therapist, and she's always said that resilience is something that needs to be taught. We're taught how to hope and how to have courage and how to be brave. It's something that we watch, we see, we listen, we hear about it. So you're doing the good work. I think that representation is something that is sorely lacking.
A lot of people think that you have to go through trauma or bad experiences, whatever, to learn how to build resilience, and that's not true. You can actually build resilience through scientific means and, proven techniques, probably like your mom has shared, I'm sure. But yeah, resilience is something that's desperately needed today, especially in light of where we are mental health wise. And it's a way to empower you to, overcome your own obstacles versus, relying on other people or circumstances to make yourself feel esteemed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the need for mental health care and wellness just seems to be growing and growing at what feels like a really rapid pace, especially here in the United States, but also around the world. I know social media has made that pretty prominent as well, which has its own ups and downs. But overall, I think that conversation is continuing, which is what we want at the end of the day. So what made you want to transform your lived experience and recovery into an opportunity to help others?
My first suicide attempt was at age 14, and that was because I was realizing that I was gay, and I was living in a family or household that was extremely homophobic and racist. So got the whole shebang there. I was battling stigma within my family. My father in particular didn't want any crazy people in the family. So I had to go to therapy in secret, meaning that my mom was only allowed to pay cash and no insurance was to be used because he didn't want any link of any crazy people in his family back to him as an esteemed attorney. So that really affected me moving forward and, throughout my attempt at therapy, moving forward throughout my entire life. And me being gay, and I was struggling with a lot of internalized homophobia. My primary motivation, though, was to end the stigma, to overcome barriers and promote openness and support, something that I did not have. And I started this in 2016 before the whole boom of mental health, tools were available. And I did this after I became stable on medication. It takes on average 10 years from this period of onset to getting the treatment that you need to establish stability. For me, it took 17 years from when I first started symptoms, the mental illness, till I finally got a proper diagnosis and got on the right medication. So it's been a long journey. And it was after that stabilization through medication, which I don't say take it or not take it. For me, it works. So I use it. And once I was stable, I decided to start this nonprofit. I have some statistics if you'd like me to read a few of them.
Yes, please.
So 1 in 5 individuals in the U.S. has a mental health disorder. Suicide ranks as I'm a huge, suicide prevention advocate as well. I work with an organization called SPRC, which is the Suicide Prevention Resource Center. They're fantastic. Suicide ranks as the second leading cause of death among young people aged 15 to 34. 41% of LGBTQ youth people considered suicide in the past year, with higher rates in transgender, non-binary, and people of color. And nearly half of the adult population in the U.S. is experiencing mental illness currently right now.
Yeah, those are some scary statistics. And unfortunately, personally, I have not heard about it often. We hear that these are symptoms or we hear about mental health, but hearing the actual numbers can be really quite terrifying. So for those that are listening, know there are resources out there for all of us.
And there's one more. According to the Surgeon General, I'm not sure if people know about this, but it came out, I think it was last year or so, the epidemic of loneliness. And it's equated to the health risk of smoking 15 cigarettes per day. Yeah, that's according to the WHO and the Surgeon General. Yeah.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
That's big yikes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, in knowing all of this, sometimes it can feel a little doomsday-ish. So what do you do to take care of your mental health today? I know fitness is something that's very important to you. I heard you've even spent time as a celebrity personal trainer, which I'd love to hear about that later. But do you have special exercises, meditations, habits, or practices that you would recommend to boost things like resilience or improve mood and feel calmer?
Absolutely. And yeah, I would love to talk about my experiences as one of the highlights of my life, really traveling all around Western world with high profile celebrities, being their wellness coach. It was amazing. Private jets, staying in the best hotels, living with people that were put on the planet, like yourself as an athlete, to do exactly what you're supposed to be doing in life. It was just an amazing sense of energy and excitement. But so yeah, my self-care routine is extremely regimented. And this is what I need to do in order to feel mentally stable and to maintain my sense of resilience and positive mental outlook on life. So I'm an early riser. I get up about 4 o'clock in the morning and have some coffee in bed while I'm chilling with my dog. Yeah, 4 in the morning. I love getting up when it's quiet. Nobody's texting. Nobody's emailing. It's dark out. I love it.
The birds are just waking up.
Yeah. And then I get dressed and I start my workout or my run around 4:30 in the morning. I run about 100 miles a month. Yeah, it's what keeps me sane. It's not for vanity purposes. I wish it was, but it's for the brain.
Yeah.
And I pause mid workout, so I'm either running or working out, alternating days. I pause my mid workout to recite the Serenity prayer. Do you know what that one is?
No, please share it.
So I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power, and I have it tattooed on my arm. And I did that when I got out of recovery the last time, which was in 2010. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, like people, places, and things, the courage to change the things that I can, which is myself, and the wisdom to know the
Wisdom to know
difference.
the difference.
Yes. So I say that every single day, and then I say 10 things I'm grateful for and 10 things that I want to manifest. That's what I do during my workout period. I live healthy for the most part. I eat a balanced diet. That's really important. And I stay away from sugar as much as possible because it's like doomsday. Sugar for me just tanks me. And a lot of people with bipolar, and I have bipolar. So that does help staying away from sugar. I drink a lot of water and I take my medication as prescribed. I also do the 4-7-8 breathing technique for relaxation, which is, you know it?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind also sharing that, because even though there may be things that I'm familiar with that people listening are not, so if you wouldn't mind talking about that and what that does for you, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm not a big meditator. I just can't. When I meditate, my head just explodes. So I
Yeah.
just can't do it. Like, it just doesn't work for me. Journaling, I'm always journaling the same thing. Like, so today I did X, Y, Z. It just doesn't work for me either. But this
Yeah.
one does because it's like instant. So you do the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. You inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold for 7 seconds, and you exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. And it intentionally increases the activity of the vagus nerve. It's like a bundle of nerve fibers that regulates an array of essential bodily functions, including mood, immune system, digestion, and heart rate. And you feel like after I do it 3 times, I open my eyes. Like, you know how your eyes, sometimes you see like dots or whatever?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. And I equate that to my higher power being present in my life. And then obviously daily movement is huge for me. I commit to walking 10,000 steps per day, regardless of the weather. If it's snowing, if it's windy, if it's boiling outside, does not matter. And then I get to bed early, ensuring I get 7 hours of sleep a night. And that's my regimen. Like, I stick to it pretty much every day of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like structure is something that has been really prominent for you to stay grounded and to recognize this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am. And if you're not feeling like yourself, being able to tune back into that, and it's like, okay, what part of me needs like extra love? Where are the kinks that need to get worked out? It sounds like there's a lot of tuning in, and I love that for you. I love that it's working, and it brings me so much joy to also know that, like, the encouragement of physicality and freedom and movement, as an athlete, that's something that that's something that I love being able to talk about, because it's also like, in doing so much movement, there's a lot of friends of mine who have either done sports or who have either whether it's high level or if it's college level or high school level, sometimes those experiences can be tough. And then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to move. It reminds me of times that weren't so great. And it's reminding yourself movement is so essential to who we are as human beings. And there's so much freedom in that. And being able to find what works is the most important thing. So thank you for sharing your regimen.
Yeah. Flexibility that you have is not a talent of mine. I've watched you on what is it called? The high beam?
Yeah.
Oh my God. First of all, gymnastics is my favorite sport to watch during the Olympics or anything, like, by far. It's insane. And then doing all that stuff on the high bar, it's literally mind boggling. To me, it's like being on tour with, celebrities. Like, wow, that is just it's just mind blowing and so inspirational, especially the training that you must go through in order to get to that level that you're at. I applaud and I appreciate you for that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm going to steer this conversation to a little left turn. The more we have open conversations and share our stories and hearing stories like yours surrounding mental health, the more that we also get to help end the stigma. So to this end, Tangible Movement is collaborating with the WisdoMania Foundation. Can you tell us about that partnership and the community engagement you're doing with the upcoming WisdoMania Fest?
Yeah, so at WisdoMania Fest is a 2-day event that's being held this May for May Mental Health Awareness Month on May 17th and May 19th. It's a 2-day event. The first day and I'm collaborating with another organization called WisdoMania Foundation by XRE. She is the founder and CEO of WisdoMania. She approached me last year and said, hey, you want to partner on this? And so we did it last year. We're doing it again this year. We got a nice grant from the LA Department of Mental Health. It's free. So what it is on the first day, on the 17th, it is a wellness day where we're going to have yoga, dance, sound bath, and live music in Griffith Park. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're selling out because we only have a certain amount of spots. So I'll tell you where to get the tickets. So don't forget your yoga mat if you want to come down to that. And the second day, which is May 19th, we're having what we call Mental Day, mental entertainment. And that's going to be comprised of where you write and record your own song, and XRE is going to lead you through that. And it goes on Spotify, and you get producer credits and writer credits for it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then we have a mental health chat. It's a mental health panel. And then we have comedy, 2 comedians. And then we have live music performances, 3 of them. So it's a whole amazing 2-day inner healing, fun learning event. And it's a way to feel inspired and be part of the community. And it's LGBTQ focused, but it's open to everybody. It's inclusive to all ages. And if you want to get tickets, then you just go to Eventbrite and check out WisdoMania Fest 2024. And that's WISDO Mania Fest.
Okay, that rocks. That sounds like it's going to be an awesome weekend. So everyone be sure to check that out because sounds like a party.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So with only 2 questions left, in your opinion, what do you think it will take to bring about the tangible change you would like to see in society regarding how we view and treat mental health? I know that's a pretty big question, so feel free to only take a bite out of it. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, thank you. I've actually get this question a couple of times, and it is interesting. Education is number one. Comprehensive campaigns to demystify and destigmatize mental health is number one. Number 2 is policy reform. We have to ensure equitable access to mental health. There's people living in rural areas, people who are more disenfranchised, and others who don't have access to mental health or mental health resources whatsoever. I actually am part of NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness. I sit on the board for Northern Nevada, and we go out to the rurals and speak to law enforcement about mental health and how to de-escalate mental health, calls, and then provide them resources so they can provide community resources. So stuff like that, where, law enforcement and government and, are involved in policy reform. Workplace and education, having mental health friendly policies for support in the schools and workplace. Community support, encouraging community-based networks to get together for collectives, and just collaboration, cross-sector partnerships, just in general, that have to be made through hospitals, nonprofits, all the things.
Yes to all of this. Wow, I commend you for the work that you're doing. We need more of it. So with that, our last question of the day. Finally, what gives you hope, Torri?
Yeah, so global awareness is number 1. And hope is a big question and a big thing to feel, if there is no hope. I used to, when I was first getting sober, I was like, F hope. There's no hope. I was just a big Debbie Downer. And then I had to build myself up, and really get a bunch of things in my toolbox to learn resilience. And I realized, it's not about me. It's about global awareness as a whole. And youth innovation is huge. The energetic and innovative responses of the younger generations to global challenges is just inspiring, compared to my generation, which is Gen X, and, the boomer generation, just the youth innovation and responses to like having a 4-day work week. I'm like, yeah, Gen Z, go for it. Like, let's do it. I'd love that. Technological and scientific advances, breakthroughs, providing solutions to, like I said, age-old problems, and then community initiatives, the growth of community-led actions, and international cooperation. So those are my sources or my ideals of hope, per se.
Absolutely. And it's, as someone who is a self-anointed optimist, I like to think that having hope for the future is one of the bravest and courageous things that you can do, because there is a trust that better things are coming. And it's not about lying in wait, and it's not about assuming that only good things are coming, but it's the understanding that it doesn't stop here. So I commend you for that bravery and for recognizing that, yeah, hope is difficult, and it takes a lot of courage and bravery to have it. So with that, Torri, thank you so much for all of your work, for all the attention that you're bringing to mental health and well-being. And thank you so much for joining us today. This was a wonderful conversation.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure and a privilege.